Um, Hi. It's been a while since I did like a video with me talking. I just want to say that, and I'm gonna talk about a person. And if you're watching this, you're not in trouble or anything. And matter of fact, I won't say this person's name because privacy reasons. And also, the picture you're looking at right now is my post featuring an, uh, an art piece of describing my dad. Now, um, I just realized, some of you are aware that something happened to me recently. My grandma basically snitched on me because I was sulking and I wasn't talking to her, and instead of reaching out to me and trying to talk it out with me, she just went behind my back and she secretly told all of this to the one person I fear and absolutely hate the most, which is this guy, my father. Yeah, yeah. I drew this picture. Basically, it's like a demon or a monster kind of entity wearing the mask, which is labeled father. Because basically, what am I supposed to do right now? He's overseas, gonna be gone for a year, thankfully. But I mean, it dawns on you when he's gonna come back. So there's this person I've vented out in a like a short and YouTube venting short where you like talk about your struggling, your issues with your family, your abusive parents and all that. That's where I saw this person. I met this person. Uh, yes. So yeah, this person said they're praying for me to move away. I just hope so. But if I want a life that I want, then I have to work for it. And they're saying that they're praying for me. I mean, they just they just like left like 6 comments in each of my posts about 2 days ago, and I'm just hoping for them to like answer back. I mean, who knows? Maybe they are basically like busy with something. Um, and they're saying, "What kind of family is this? I do not like your family one bit." Well, I don't like mine either because every freaking time, my dad enters an area that I'm in, I feel so downright scared and uneasy, even though I didn't do anything wrong. And just to be fair, like what I'm dealing with and going through it feels so normal because it's been so normalized in my family, like ever since I was born. I went through them beating me, especially with a belt. Yes, they do that with a belt. And then and then they act like they never did that, and then they legitimize the verbal abuse and say that my mom and dad say they legitimize the verbal abuse they throw at me, and then they say they compare their abuse to how their parents, my grandparents, used to beat them up, they say that they have endured even worse beating from their parents, and they basically legitimize that by saying that I should be thankful that they're not beating me. Is that all? Is that even all? There's no there. It's not like words don't hurt you that much. Both words and physical harm. They're both mentally damaging and also physically damaging. And then and first of all, that time this is a post where I vented. This is a post where I talked about, well, I was attending an art class, which is outside of school. Plus, I've graduated high school. I'm about to start college. So basically, they basically, I don't know, they didn't even discuss with me about me joining an online art class. They just joined me in the art class before even discussing it with me, and then and right after, like, when they just joined me in the art class, then they well, after they just joined me in the art class, then they discussed with me. Hey, said some things like, "Hey, you're gonna be attending this art class. This is for your own good." I never asked to be in an art class. Basically, in this art class, they don't endorse creativity. They value like a real dry they value realistic human anatomy. Like they teach you how to only draw realistically. There's no abstract. There's no unique art style. There's no teaching of that in this online art class I'm attending. It feels so unfair that they just secretly just join me in this art class, and I had no idea in the first place. And whenever I submit my art late, they explode, and then they yell at me. And as I was saying, basically, when I was attending like in my art class, my dad he keeps on nagging me around. He tells me the most. He tells me to like he I don't know, like he would constantly nag me to tell things that weren't necessary, like show this drawing you made. Which in particular, I drew something for my own. I didn't draw it for anyone or for any occasion. So he was like telling me to show this drawing that I made because it's good looking, and I didn't want to do that because I felt uncomfortable, even though I didn't draw anything problematic or not safe for work. I never do those things. Then he tried to tell me that to tell your teacher that you got accepted into this college. What? Tell my our teacher that I got accepted into a college? Why is that even necessary at this point? It's downright right stupid. Like you don't get basic respect at all. And when you're attending something, and then your parents are around, and then they nag you to they annoy you to tell this, tell that, and if you don't, they in the aftermath they just scold you, and they say something like this. My dad says the what said like actually said this. You probably know. Why do you even draw if you're not gonna show it to anyone? Do you draw just to look at your art and smile at it? He basically he also said that my artworks are worthless if I don't show them to anyone. Do we really have to show every single one of my art? First of all, the thing is, I never told you this, that my dad shames me and criticizes me for drawing Five Nights at Freddy's and just for simply overall liking FNAF. And he doesn't even know what FNAF is about. He has no clue that I have this YouTube channel at all. Okay. He just constant. He doesn't even want me to draw anything that looks like Freddy Fazbear. I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, he literally yells at me just for that. He even forces my brother to stop watching gaming videos because he thinks that we are supposed to play the games, not watch other people play games. And he thinks it's pathetic. This is why I do things when he's not around. He doesn't even want me to listen to FNAF music at all. FNAF has been my childhood, and he has no clue that I love the fandom and the games ever since I was a child. That makes it almost more than a decade right now. It is alright not to show what you did. Of course it's alright. You can have that mindset. I just don't understand why. Why would you force this? He explodes at the most stupidest and smallest things. Like, when you're not even. This is the definition of basic respect. You're not supposed to disturb anyone when they're focusing on something. And it's like he interrupts you to ask this to your teacher, ask that while you're like attending an online meeting. Your father is the cool and heartless person. You're not wrong. Of course you aren't. I freaking suffered years and years. I'm 18 now, and I still have him yell at me and try to control what I do. And you're not wrong for saying that. I honestly agree, and I have no regret saying that. I honestly thought he was going to like Five Nights at Freddy's if I ever introduced it to him, because he also watches some horror movies. Sometimes he watches horror movies, and I just thought, hey, he might like FNAF if I introduce it to him. And this man developed a hatred for that just by looking at some of my FNAF art. If he hates it so much, he doesn't support my interest. He shames for it. But ironically, he took me and my brother to watch the very first FNAF movie. And sadly, I don't get to watch the second one because I'm stuck here, and they're not gonna have the movie play in the theaters in this country, in this region. Yeah. Hold on. And there's this thing about these horoscopes. You know, I've heard when I was venting about this, some good friends of mine, like this person, they told me that I can do whatever I want with my life. You know what's messed up is that they are talking about my brother's future when he's like just 11 to 12 years old. Like, he's basically just a kid, and they're already discussing about his marriage. It's so messed up. Just why? I can tell that someday you will move away from the toxic environment. Well, let me say that there's there are two ways to get away from them. Either you just end up living with them until you get married off, or two, you rebel against them and then you move away to live independently. I just hope I have the mindset to do that. I definitely don't want to get married off early, and I know this is a very personal topic, so I'll just stop talking about it. And not only that, you know what the thing is, all I thought was they're telling me all this just for my own good, but it's not the case. They're 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 clearly forcing this ridiculous beliefs against me and my brother. He doesn't. When we were talking about this, my little brother, he had no idea. He didn't even understand anything. He's just a kid, and they're already discussing about this. You know, they're the only way that these things, these horoscopes can only come true if you prove your life. If you live your whole life trying to prove them right. It's basically like, oh, so this is what will happen in my future, and then you live your life trying to make it happen. And my mom, there was a incident where my mom yelled at me, and once she even hit me because I lost a piece of jewelry in my high school. She didn't want to listen. And when I tried to tell her that it was all an accident and I didn't mean to betray you or anyone, she interrupted by screaming at me. Like, she literally exploded like it was the end of the world. Just because I forgot to bring a piece of jewelry back home. Now that I think about it, it's so stupid. And now regarding this post, I said like probably a month ago. She is acting like whatever she did was normal, and it's just really confusing, and it's really infuriating to me. And yeah, whatever they said makes sense. It's like they hurt you so bad, and then instead of comforting you and not at least taking accountability for that, they they just don't do anything else. They just leave you be. They just leave you alone to process everything. And if you show any negative emotions as a result of them yelling at you, including crying, they think it's pathetic or even disrespectful, and they'll blame you just for showing emotions like that. That's disrespect. She's acting like not. She's acting normal, like nothing happened, just to manipulate you. Your family is not a very good one. I'm not offended by what you said. Because I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Why would I be offended? I've spent years, or one of those days that every time I remember the words they said to me, and every time I remember them, it's like it hurts so much. Why would I be offended? Why would I be offended just because you said that? You know what? To tell you the truth, I always thought I was very fortunate to be in a family, even if they have hurt me a lot. Matter of fact, they also said that they also guilted me and shamed me, and because by saying that I'm ungrateful, or I should be really grateful to have parents like them because they give me anything I want and that they don't hit me. That's not enough. Like, I don't care if they give me what I want. The fact that they hurt you though, it's like, in matter of fact, they don't even know what abuse it even is. They don't know. Because one time I had my father tell me this: it's not like we're abusing you, it's all for your own good. He literally said that. And that was years ago. Of course it's abusive, but why would anyone, why would a sane person just hurt you this much and then get away with it, act like nothing happened, that and that everything is fine? Like, seriously. This is not the end of this. More is going to much more, like, more stuff is going to happen. My dad is gonna come back after a year, and it's going to be, I can't say the word, but it's going to be hell again. He constantly calls me overweight. I don't know what makes him think I'm overweight. I just don't understand. When I look in my mirror, I see I, I look just fine. It's so toxic that when you think about it, you think that you're special and nobody else is special. Right now, I'm just another person, just like any other person who's going through familial abuse of like this one. I don't know what the what's the point of making this video. I I guess I could say I just wanted to vent out more, and I just want, as soon as possible, or if they can, if they're available online, I just want them to respond back. The one with the yellow colored profile picture. And I just want to say, I also understand if people are unable to help me. I don't really, I can't blame you, or, I mean, you probably have your own life to take care of. Like, you have a life of your own, but, and I'm not saying that you should stop caring. You can care, but you don't have to, take drastic measures to just try to help me. I just want you guys to be there for me. That's so that I could talk to. That's all I want. That's all I want. This person is telling me that this is definitely not okay, and that I should do something about this. What can I? No offense, but what can I possibly do? I don't have the I don't have faith in the enforcement, the police in this country, and not just and I'm not living in the United States anymore. Or yes, other people like who I know. Maybe you guys aren't. Some of you guys aren't living in the U.S., but I'm just not sure if calling the police is the right thing to do. I can't do anything about it. All I can do is just talk to you guys whenever things are bad again. I feel like I'm being monitored all the time when he's around. Like I'm monitored for just looking at my tablet. If you were normally being scolded and disciplined, and why would you even say this? It's because this is not normal, like you said. I don't know. Now it's not even possible to even move in with a relative that it's not even possible. It's not even close to being easy or possible because you just can't even do that. They won't let you move in another home. They'll make you stay with them. And once again, I said I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can call the police. If I did, they'll probably blame me again. All I want to say, I just want you to answer back. Oh, I didn't see their comment here. I didn't get this. Yeah. You're innocent. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't deserve this. I'm going through a lot, how my parents yelled at me, and I can remember every single word they said to me. Look, I never wish to hurt people or anyone. I might as well be willing to accept possible new friends. I'm sorry if I was being an idiot. Either way, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't say anything except that I did feel this way when I was typing. What else am I supposed to feel if I'm not a criminal? What else am I supposed? I'm innocent. They make me look like a criminal over the most smallest mistakes, like losing a piece of jewelry inside the school grounds. They make you look like a criminal. My mom literally said that I was a traitor and matter of fact, she even said that I quote unquote stole the piece of jewelry when I lost the jewelry. And the last thing I want you guys is to just be burdened by what I'm going through. But then at the same time, I just want to vent out. I just want to talk about this. But you guys, you guys care. But it seems like some of you are like sad, so sad for me. It almost makes me sad, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say that. How can you possibly? This is why, and she went, mom, and she went all out on me just because I kept this a secret. The fact that I lost a golden bracelet, a secret from her. They didn't want me to keep this a secret from them. They didn't want me to lie to them behind their backs. Well, what am I supposed to do? Just be, well, they even made it look, and they made me feel like a traitor, a terrible person, just because I didn't reveal the truth to them early on time. I did want to, but then I was scared because, I mean, then again, that bracelet was expensive because it was made out of pure gold. That's real gold. That's actual real gold. That's not plastic. That's not metal painted with gold. I genuinely do feel really bad for losing that piece of jewelry. I really do. Why am I talking about my personal stuff? I don't know. If you feel uncomfortable with what I'm discussing, feel free to click off this video. Nobody's forcing you to watch this. Only if you want to. I didn't deserve this. Funny story. I agree with you, but you know what? You know what my dad said? You probably know. You probably know because you read my whole story in the other short. Well, I'm gonna say it again, but just based on what that jewelry incident, that bracelet incident, I just stopped talking to my mom. I, I, in the early days, when she hit me and lashed out at me. And basically, she didn't like that. Okay, she wanted me to talk to her like normal, and it was, and guess what? How can you possibly just deal with that, with this much patience? She wanted me to talk to her like nothing has ever happened like that, and it made me so furious. Now, it makes me so furious now that I think about it. It's so. She wants me to talk to her, and she's guilting me, and she's blaming me for not doing so. When he was, and and when he was driving me, my dad, I can't even call him my dad at this point. They're not my family by the way they treat me. He was driving me to school in the morning, uh, and out of the blue, he asked me, why aren't you talking to your mom? Then I didn't respond. I was just too scared. And then he continued and asked me, was it because she yelled at you? Then I hesitantly replied yes to him, and then he went all out on me. He was like, "Oh, were you not supposed to get scolded? Did you expect her to pick you up and kiss you on the cheek?" And that's literally what he said. I know it sounds ridiculous, but he said that. Like I wasn't supposed to expect that from her. I don't want her to kiss me and say that she's proud of me. I don't want her to do that, but at least like try to understand. That's all I wanted. And no, they didn't even bother to listen to me just for that. All I did was just an accident. I didn't even do it on purpose. I never planned it. Okay, well anyway, he said that when he said what when he literally said, "Oh, were you expecting for her to hug you and say that she's proud of you?" Well, guess what? You deserve it because you were ignorant on losing that bracelet in the school grounds. He said that I deserved it. He straight up, his conversation with him didn't make anything feel better that day. And I was still in senior year of high school. I had so much life ahead of me, and I was only 17 that time. About yet, I was yet to graduate, and I was dealing with all of this. Matter of fact, I didn't even want them to show up at our graduation. But unfortunately, I don't know the rules, but it felt like that it was mandatory for your parents to show up regardless. But I'm just gonna say I never wanted them to show up to even see me walk up that stage during my graduation. I didn't want that. I had so much trouble trying to find them when the graduation's over. And then when I didn't even want to see them face to face. I didn't even want to meet them. But I did, unfortunately. And he came. When he saw me, he came and held out his hand and said, "Congratulations," like a good father. And I innocently took his hand and shook it. And you know the most disgusting part is that she came. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. It's Mom. She came, hugged me, and she kissed me on the cheek. At this point, it just felt so disgusting. At this point, now you're probably thinking, whatever I'm saying is so messed up. But I know that you're not mad. She hit me. She called me a sinner. She called me a sinner just because I. Do I really deserve it? I didn't do anything. I just lost a piece of jewelry in my former high school, and I was called a sinner for that by my mother. And then she acted like nothing happened, and she was like so happy and proud of me during my high school graduation. Am I really innocent? Did I really do nothing wrong? Well, guess what? I actually do feel like I did something wrong. I did. It's so complicated. I don't even know what to believe. I don't deserve it. Well, I did something in my past life to deserve this. Um. Anyway, just I'm just scrolling through my posts just to like see any more venting posts that I recently dropped. Um, or I just want I don't know I want them to just reply back to me. Even I just I feel like I'm whining it like I'm spoiled or something just by talking about this, all of this. That's how much effect they had on me. My family has had on me. I went through all of that, in the US just to come back here and then face and then face more of this from my grandma. She, instead of talking to me, she just simply went behind my back and then snitched on me to my dad. And my daddy didn't even hesitate. He didn't even think twice. He just called me. Then then just basically, I don't know, yelled at me, and then he hung up without at least even saying goodbye. Why should I care at this point? Why should I even care about people like him? I'm starting to just shut down these emotions right now. We should just stop caring about people like these. It's not. It's pointless. It's pointless. That's all I'm gonna say. Why should you still try to get their attention, get their approval while they have been hurting you and hurting you for years, ever since you were like a toddler? I don't know.